When I picked her up, she was quiet. Too quiet for a 5-year-old. The teacher smiled, waved, said something about "see you tomorrow." But my daughter just stared out the window on the drive home, clutching her backpack like it was armor. I stopped at a light, opened the glove box. "You want your snack, sweetheart?" She flinched. Not the little startled kind, no. It was instinctive, like something inside her expected pain. She whispered, "I'm not allowed to eat when Mommy's home." The words didn't make sense at first. They just hung there, thin and trembling between us. When I asked why, she said softly, "Because then she gets mad." She didn't look at me when she said it, and that was the first time in months I realized I'd stopped knowing what went on inside my own home. That night, after she was asleep, I poured a drink and opened the security app on my phone. I told myself I was overreacting, just a father's paranoia. The footage loaded. And what I saw, what that blinking red light revealed, broke something I didn't know could still break. It started small. The camera in the kitchen showed my wife standing over her, a plate of food in front of our daughter. Not shouting, not violent, just cold. She made her sit there, staring at the plate for an hour. Every time our daughter reached for a bite, my wife's hand came down, flat, deliberate. A silent correction. It wasn't discipline, it was control. A quiet assertion of dominance I had never seen before. The woman I thought I knew, laughing, graceful, capable, looked like a stranger. Every smile I'd ever trusted started to rot in my memory. When I finally closed the app, my hands were trembling, but not from anger, from the precision of her cruelty, from how carefully it had been hidden. That night I lay beside her, feeling the faint warmth of her shoulder against mine, and wondered how long she'd been capable of this, and why I hadn't seen it. I didn't confront her, not yet. Instead, I started to watch. Every day, every hour she was home with our daughter, the cameras recorded. The mornings when she dressed her roughly, the afternoons when she ignored her crying, the nights she poured herself wine and called it tough love. It wasn't rage I felt, it was calculation. Every lie, every tone, every gesture went into a folder. Timestamps, clips, notes. I started researching custody law, psychological abuse, the weight of video evidence. I called an old friend from college. He was a family attorney now. We spoke in hypotheticals, but he knew. He said, "If you can prove a pattern, you can end it." So I did. Quietly. No outbursts, no visible anger. Just a husband making sure the next move would be irreversible. 3 weeks later, I came home early. She was in the kitchen, glass of wine in hand, phone on the counter. I said calmly, "We need to talk." She rolled her eyes. About what? I placed my laptop on the table and pressed play. The footage began. The day my daughter flinched, the night she sat alone at the table while her mother watched silently from across the room. My wife's face drained of color. She reached for the laptop, but I closed it first. I said nothing. Silence does what words never can. Her voice broke first. You were spying on me?" I almost laughed. Spying? No, I was witnessing. I looked at her the way a surgeon looks at a tumor, objectively, detached, knowing removal was necessary. She cried, pleaded, said she was just stressed, that I didn't understand motherhood. But the truth was already sealed in files, backed up twice, copied to a drive in my lawyer's office. There was no undoing it now. The next morning, she found her car keys missing, her phone disconnected. A printed copy of the custody motion lay on the kitchen counter. No arguments, no threats, just facts, dates, evidence, names. I didn't need to destroy her reputation. I let her own actions do that. By noon, she was on the phone with her mother, sobbing. By evening, she was gone. When my daughter came home from school, she asked, "Where's Mommy?" I knelt down. "Mommy needs some time to get better." She nodded slowly, then whispered, "Can I eat now?" That was the first time she smiled without flinching. It's strange how silence can heal. The house feels cleaner, the air lighter. I hear laughter again, small, uncertain, but real. Sometimes I replay those old clips, not to relive them, but to remind myself how close I came to losing both of us. People think revenge is loud. It isn't. It's the quiet shift of power when the truth finally breathes. My wife once told me I was too passive, too calm. She mistook composure for weakness. Now, every morning when I pack my daughter's lunch and she eats beside me, I realize the calm was never weakness. It was the weapon she never saw coming.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.